Welcome everybody to Pioneer Park. My name is Kristen Riker. I am the Director of Salt Lake City Parks and Public Lands. I'm here to introduce you to the groundbreaking for a new multi-purpose field for Pioneer Park. We're going to start with a donation ceremony and then move to the construction project groundbreaking. So I'd like to start with our mayor, Mayor Jackie Biskupski.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And thanks for coming down here today. We are here to celebrate the beginning of a new era for Pioneer Park. Downtown Salt Lake City is one of the fastest growing areas of our city. As more individuals and families call the area home, it is important that we adapt our city resources to meet the needs of our new community members. Usable and vibrant park space is a critical component for any urban area. Parks are where we come together as a community, and since our city's founding, Pioneer Park has fulfilled the role in a variety of ways. From Pioneer Fort to Farmers Market, this space has changed our city as it has grown in size and complexity. Now, once again, we are making changes to make sure that Pioneer Park is a true asset to our community. Based on nearly 4 years of outreach, study, and collaboration, Salt Lake City is once again making changes to Pioneer Park to ensure it continues to meet its mission as a place for the community. The new multi-purpose lawn will undoubtedly breathe new life into Pioneer Park. I know Governor Herbert mentioned that he wanted to be down here one day playing a little tennis match, but maybe he'd be willing to come down and kick a few soccer balls. Right at the heart of this urban oasis, we will soon be able to host youth sports, after-work leagues, weekend ultimate frisbee games, and hopefully a Thanksgiving turkey bowl. With the new lighting, Pioneer Park will become safer, more usable for more hours of the day, and the new perimeter walkway around this green space will help make the farmers market even more successful. I want to thank our community members who helped create the vision for this project. And I also want to share a special thank you to the Pioneer Park Coalition for your generous donation to help make this a reality. I also want to say thank you to the Downtown Alliance and the Farmers Market for all you have done in revitalizing Pioneer Park and for working with us during this construction. And of course, thank you to our incredible team with Parks and Public Lands led by Kristen Riker, for helping to create what I am sure will be a renaissance of Pioneer Park. As a community, we have done so much to change the narrative of this area, and this project is one more sign of these efforts. We are truly in this together, and I am very grateful to all of you for sticking with us as we work through some difficult situations. Thank you again for coming today. I greatly appreciate it. I'm turning the time over to Soren Simonson.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. I just came from a ribbon cutting with Mayor Biskupski up in Sugar House Park for another really incredible asset in our community, the Sago Lily Dam. That's part of the draw. So a lot of things happening in every corner of the community. This has been a really interesting, there's a really incredible history of this piece of ground in Salt Lake City. Some of you probably know pieces of it, but from native nomadic peoples that used to rest here as they were traversing the Rocky Mountain region, hunters and trappers that came and fished and camped along the banks of the City Creek that flows not far from here. Pioneers, Mormon pioneers that came here in the mid-1800s and established a fort on this very piece of ground that became the establishment of Salt Lake City. More recently, it was transformed into a park, and for the last almost 3 decades, it's been an incredible venue for the downtown farmers market, and more recently, the Twilight Concert Series. It seems like every few generations, there's a transformation that happens with this piece of ground, and the one that's happening today is no less remarkable than any of those that have happened in the past. And we're very excited to see the next phase of this, to really establish this as a hub for a growing urban district right in the heart of Salt Lake City's downtown. About 3.5 years ago, we launched kind of a community-led initiative that was championed by many design professionals who office in the blocks right around Pioneer Park that really wanted to give something back. And they've become champions and have created an initiative that brings us to the point that we are today. I want to thank the AIA Utah, which is a local chapter of the American Institute of Architects, and Urban Design Utah, which is a coalition of various design discipline, urban designers and planners working to improve downtown Salt Lake City in many facets. Babcock Design, Community Studio, CRSA, FFKR Architects, GSBS, IBI Group, LOSI, Logan Simpson Design, NWL Architects, Prescott Muir Architect. These are many of the designers that participated. We had about 25 individuals that spent about 4 days in February of 2015 reimagining the park and really putting into motion what's happened here today. We're grateful for the tremendous support we received also from the University of Utah, Utah State University, and Westminster College students who also added their creative energy and inspiration to that project. And Assist, which is a local design center that helped imagine how this can be a place for people of all abilities. I also want to thank the Pioneer Park Coalition, which I serve on the board for since its inception, for their incredible grassroots initiative to bring together and give voice to so many in this neighborhood who've had ideas and imagined what this could be, but until we finally rally the support of civic leaders and community leaders, public and private partners of all walks, to bring everybody together for this moment. And we're really excited to see this transformation that will create a new hub of community life with the great field, with new lighting and other amenities that will be part of this next stage of the development of Pioneer Park. We're grateful for all of you to being here today and for so many that have championed this initiative. And we look forward to moving forward with it. And we'll be back here soon for a ribbon cutting of this new great community hub.
Great, thanks, Simon. Next, we're going to hear from Councilmember Amy Fowler.
Thank you. So as Soren mentioned, we were at a ribbon cutting earlier this morning for the Seagull Lily project over in Sugar House Park, which is in my district. And as I listened to the speakers this morning over there, and as I listened to the mayor and Soren this morning, the thing that strikes me the most is the amount of community support and the amount of perseverance that it takes to make change happen and make projects like this happen. It takes everyone really with dedication to continue to garner the support, as Soren said, to continue to make sure that we have community input, to continue to fight forward so that we can have good and better change. As vice chair of the redevelopment agency, and I can say full-heartedly that it was an honor for the RDA board to be able to support this by funding some of the extra needs that were needed for this park to happen. So we look forward to seeing a new revitalization of this area and continue to support this project. So thank you to everyone before us and everyone that will continue making this project the reality that we look forward to.
Okay, thanks, Amy. The next will be up is David Garbett, Executive Director for the Pioneer Park Coalition.
I understand before I can make any comments, I have to give the city a check. So I'm going to do that so I can say a few words. Michelle, do you want to bring that up? Mayor? I'm David Garbett, the Executive Director of the Pioneer Park Coalition. And we are so excited to be here today. In 1898, this space was dedicated as a public park. This is only 2 years after Utah became a state, and it was just as the City Beautiful movement was kicking off across the country. The City Beautiful movement is this incredible part of American history that gave us such places as Central Park in New York City. The founders of that movement, and that movement influenced this park, the founders of that movement believed that green spaces, that city parks, were where cities would learn virtue. They were places where everybody in a city, regardless of their income level, regardless of their beliefs, could commingle. And by doing that, parks would be a foundational part of democracy. I mean, it sounds like something we need today, a place that can bring everybody together. And it's on that standard that Pioneer Park has fallen short. And it was that reason that the Pioneer Park Coalition was founded, to try and make this an effective space where everybody felt like they could come safely and gather together. And I include the homeless in that. And that's something that we're working towards, and I know the city's working towards that as well. I want to thank my board for making this possible. One of my founding board members is here, Bryson Garbett. I see I have also other board members here, Soren Simonson, who you heard from, Randy Shumway, Tiffany Provost, my chair, and Dave Kelly, my vice chair. Sincerely appreciate the vision and the work they've done to bring us here today. I need to thank the mayor. Mayor, thank you very much. You and your staff have gone to great lengths to make this a functioning public space. In particular, I need to call out Parks Director Kristen Riker, the great work that she's done, Public Services Director Lisa Schaefer, hiding somewhere in the back over here. They came to us and said, let's get going, PPC. It's time to do work in the park. And we're so grateful that they did that. I also need to thank the City Council. Chair Erin Mendenhall couldn't make it today, but she was pivotal in this. So was our local council representative, Derek Kitchen, who couldn't make it here. And then, as you've heard, Amy Fowler, both on the council and with the RDA, made it possible for us to be here today. So I'm very grateful for that. And finally, I want to thank our donors. There are so many people in this neighborhood, residents and businesses, that contributed big and small so that we could do this, so that I could bring you this $300,000 check. I don't want to downplay any of those contributions, but I do have to call out one of them in particular, whose donation is the lion's share of the check here today. And that's somebody that really needs no introduction. We know as a giant of our city and our state, Gail Miller. Her philanthropy has touched so many areas, both education, homelessness, and today the park. We have a representative of Miss Miller here today since she couldn't make it, and I want to turn the time over to Jay Francis. He's the Executive Vice President over Corporate Affairs and Miller Family Philanthropy. Thank you. Jay.
I am no substitute for Gail, but she wished she could be here. She sent a nice note to Scott Howell and explained that she had a meeting. I just left their meeting this morning. I was first on their agenda, and they'll be in a day-and-a-half meeting, and she's so pivotal in their family meetings right now that she just felt like she couldn't break away. But we were happy to be early on, I won't say first, but an early on donor to the Pioneer Park Coalition. We listened as we met with Bryson Garbett and Scott Howell early on. And Gail's comment early on was, make the park what it needs to be, but also let's help the homeless in the area. Let's just not kick them out. And they have done a great job of being a partner with the homeless community, as well as looking out for the park to make sure that it becomes what we can all be proud of. Larry coined, and we all heard in his book, go about doing good till there's too much good in the world. I get to be part of that. Gail's coined phrase is, the communities where we do business should be better because we're there. This is a small part of us trying to do that. Gail and Greg Miller make their homes in downtown Salt Lake, and so this will be important to them, as well as we have a small building just a couple blocks up where one or two people get together for events. I spent 22 years in that building, and I can see with this transformation of this park that there could be some joint activities with the Vivint Arena and Pioneer Park. So we're grateful to be part of it. We're grateful to make the city better in some small way and to be able to help others have a place where they can recreate. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, David. So lastly, I'd just like to say thanks to everybody who has collaborated on this project. We fell a little short with funding after the bids came in, and the Pioneer Park Coalition had a huge share in helping us meet this goal. Also, the Redevelopment Agency for Salt Lake City stepped in at the last minute to help us with that funding, so I want to thank them. There's been a lot of collaboration, a lot of flexibility getting this project together. We've had to coordinate a lot of different things, and at times it felt like it might not happen. And I want to thank the farmers market, which is continuing through the summer, for their flexibility in moving the farmers market, and all the vendors who may have been a little bit disrupted. They have been real troopers. I was here last weekend, so I want to thank them also. Our hope that this project will bring in a lot more activity in this park and make the park feel a safer place for everyone. So I'm so excited this is happening. It hardly feels real, but together, David and I have really worked hard on getting this going. So thank you so much for everything that you've done. I appreciate it so much. And let's get some shovels and do some groundbreaking. I'd like to bring up Lisa Schaefer, the Public Services Director, David Garbett, Executive Director for Pioneer Park Coalition, Mayor Biskupski, Tammy Hunsaker from the RDA, and also members of the Pioneer Park Coalition. Please come up and help us do some groundbreaking right here.